So the movie I'm reviewing today is Blind Date, and to be honest, this movie, I give it a 5 out of 10. The only reason I give it a 5 at all is because everybody in the movie is fine. Okay, but in reality, this movie was 1 hour and 15 minutes. It could have been 30 minutes. There was a lot of like just emptiness in the whole shit, but I digress. So we come into the story. There are two guys. They live in a duplex. They're neighbors. So Tumisi is a tech bro and Boma is a gamer. Okay, so they're neighbors, but they're clearly lonely. Boma is on that, oh, I need a, runs girl, women ain't nothing tip. And Tumisi is like, lover boy, I'm emotionally intelligent, all that stuff. So Tumisi has a conversation with his sister, Tolani, who's like, oh, I'll hook you up with one of my friends, but she's a very nice girl, no hookup stuff, like, you have to come correct. So Tumisi was like, yeah, sure, like whatever, I'll be respectful. And then Boma at the same time was talking to his runs girl, that one I showed that I used to be messing with, and she was like, oh, she's not available, but she has one girl that's really good, like she's expensive, Sha. And he was like, okay, run on. So both of them had the date on a Friday. So both of them had the date at the same time on Friday. So when Tumisi first calls the friend, the sister's friend that she set him up with, he's trying to be this guy. Oh, I know what I'm cooler than I am. Homie is not cool. You could tell he was nervous. Maybe he hasn't been on a date in a long time. So both of the girls come in on the Friday. They enter the compound at the same time, but one girl, more curvier, goes towards Tumisi, who's waiting for a good girl, and the other girl, who's wearing a very elegant like two-piece or a dress, goes to see Boma. So it turns out you figure it out pretty quickly. Boma didn't get a shower, he got a executive girl, and Tumisi didn't get an executive good girl, he got a shower. So they're both in their spaces. Boma starts to cuddle up to Miss Nice Girl because he's thinking, nah, show this one be, and she's even an expensive one, so she must be up to something. He's like, oh, do you want to drink? And he has like alcohol, and she's like, I don't drink. I don't do that, sir. Do you have like juice? Do you have like fresh juice? Do you have food? She's even asking, do you have food? He's like, food. He's confused because like, this is a shower now. They don't care. It's about the knocking and the money and they go home. So he's now in the kitchen trying to like figure something out. And then she comes in the kitchen. So Susan is Miss Nice Girl. Susan comes in the kitchen and she's like, do you not have food? Okay, then get ingredients. Susan is teaching Boma how to cook food. Boma is confused. Because Boma is looking for knacks. He's not looking for cooking lesson. At the same time, Tumisi is also really confused because his sister told him, do not hook up with this girl, that's not what she's on, which he's supposed to be with Susan, but it's Olivia who's the Ashewa that he has. So the Ashewa Olivia is really, getting really close to him, and he keeps trying to push her off, and like he's like, oh, I have food, I have this, I have fruit juice and everything, and Olivia's like, what is this guy talking about, fruit juice? Anyway, Shisha eats, they even watch film. She's like, I don't know what this guy is doing. But she even asked for like hard liquor. She was like, do you have anything stronger? Like what is juice? But anyway, like Tumisi is not grasping what Olivia is throwing out at all. He's very much trying to respect her because that's what his sister told him. But we now go back to Boma. And Boma's on a date, he's doing the cooking thing. They ate the food. He was now like, oh, the food is good or whatever. And then Boma tries to teach Susan, right, Miss Nice Girl Corporate, how to play games, because that's what he does. And she was like, you play games for a living? And she's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I play games, but I also have like a printing business. And Susan, that was like, oh, what are video games? I'm too above video games. Starts playing the game. She even gets more competitive than Boma. It's actually crazy how they switched, but they're very attracted to each other because Olivia, the prostitute that's with Tumisi, she's into graphic design and Tumisi's a tech bro, right? So, you know, their worlds are kind of colliding, right? So it's just kind of weird how, like, I like that aspect of the film, like, you know, opposites attract, that trope they usually put in movies anyway. So then the Ashawo tries to kiss Tumisi and he's like scared, but she eventually convinces him to take her upstairs because she wants to sleep, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna pass the night here. So Tumisi takes her upstairs and he's like, okay, this is a big bed, this is my room, this is my bed, you can have the bed and roll around and do your thing, and that's the washroom. Ashawo said, I'm done with this ish. She mounts Tumisi. Tumisi, she said, Tumisi, you must knock me today. She said, Tumisi, you must knock me. She didn't even know it's Tumisi. She didn't know the guy's name. Like, the fact that you let people into your house and you didn't even know their name is crazy to me. Anyway, we go back to Boma and Susan. And Susan goes to use the washroom in Boma's room. And he was going to enter the room, but then he thought about it and he's like, you know what? F that. He's not on that. So Susan falls asleep. He covers Susan up, being a gentleman. And then he gets in the bed next to her. Everybody falls asleep. So next morning, Mr. Tumisi woke up early to go and cook breakfast for Olivia. Olivia's running down the stairs like, oh yeah, I need to go. Like, you know, Ashawo's don't spend time. You pay them their money and they're out. So he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll walk you out. But at the same time, his sister calls him. Then Boma's side, Boma gets a call from his Ashawo hookup that got him the girl that was supposed to come, and she's like, oh, you know, how was it, and he said, she didn't knock you, we didn't do, but I'm really interested in this girl Susan. When he says her name, the Ashawo hookup is like, who is Susan? I sent you Olivia. At that moment, his head is like, what the heck is going on? And then at the same time, Tumisi gets a call from his sister who says, yeah, how was Susan? And he's like, who's Susan? I'm with Olivia. So they both hang up their call. Everybody's outside in the compound and they're kind of each is having their own conversation. Like Boma is talking to Susan like, wasn't I supposed to give you 150K for the night? And Susan she is pissed. She's like, you thought I was a freaking prostitute? Get the freak out of here. And then Olivia on the other hand is talking to Tumisi like, yo, run me my money. Like, is it because you cook me food or you are doing whatever that you don't want to give me my money? And then she was like, you know what, forget it. So Olivia goes to her car. Susan just leaves Boma there. And then, you know, Tumisi runs after Olivia like, okay, I'll still pay you the money, but there's a really big misunderstanding. Like, this wasn't supposed to be what it is. So then the boys realize what happened, what went wrong, and then they exchange phone numbers. They both start talking to the girls respectively, you know, and you know, everybody has a happy ending. To be honest, the last like 30 to 40 minutes of this movie could have been the whole movie. There was just a lot of like emptiness within, but everybody was attractive. I love seeing Michael DAPPA on my screen. And then, you know, Bolaji Ogummola, great actress, you know, this Oborime, cute guy, and Jessica Tate, she kept it very, very classy, very clean. I recommend if you got time, you can watch it. It's a chill film, but there's nothing really like of substance. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.